Hello everyone, welcome back to AMMAA Ifee YouTube channel. Today we will see an introduction to management course chapter 3 planning. So we will see this chapter in English and Oromic language in brief and a concise manner. The chapter is it is brief, so let's start. So what is planning? Planning is the dynamic process of making a decision today about future action, and it's a selection or a choice among alternatives as to what missions or objective be achieved, what action should be taken, what organizational position be assigned, how the end can be achieved, when to achieve it, at its time frame, who is to do it, who is the person, the individuals who involved in this plan and accomplish the organization's desired objective, and where to do it. It is where this plan can be achieved. It's the place. So it's a bridge, the gap between where we are now and where we want to be. So this is its own chapter 3 planning. Karoora jechuun adeemsa dynamic process kan ta'edha, jijjiirama kan ta'edha jechuudha. Maalidha? Har'a murteen nuti har'a murteessinu gara fuulduraatti wanta hojjennuuf maal jennaani karoora jennaani jechuudha. Karoorri tokko immoo hojiirra ooluudhaaf kaayyoon isaa, ergamni isaa maalidha, objektiiviin isaa maalidha, akkasumas akshinii akkamitti fudhatama karoora kana gara hojiitti hiikuudhaaf. What organizational position be assigned kan jedhu organizational position kallattii akkamiitu kaa'ama karoora kana galmaan ga'uudhaaf. Inni dhumaa kun akkamitti dhuma argata, karoorri kun akkamitti dhuma argata, yoom hojjetama, eenyuun hojjetama, eessatti hojjetama kan jedhu kana deebii kana kan nu deebisuudha jechuudha karoorri keenya. Akkasumas karoora jechuun gaappii har'a irra jirru gara fuulduratti waan ta'uu barbaannu kan nu wal qunnamsiisudha jechuudha. Akka riqichaatti kan nu tajaajiludha jechuudha. Har'a eessa jira sadarkaa beekumsaatiin, iskiiliitiin, sadarkaa dhaabbataatti biraanchii meeqa akka qabnu, advaansed teeknooloojii akkamii akka fayyadamnu, fuulduratti immoo maal ta'uu akka qabnu kana kan nu wal qunnamsiisu akka riqicha ta'ee kan nu walitti fidu eenyudha, karoora jennaan jechuudha. So planning is preparing today for tomorrow. It is the activity that allows managers to determine what they want and how to get it. So managers determine what they want in the future and how can get it in the future. So for getting what they want in that organization, they plan. So it's preparing today for tomorrow. So they set a goals, decide how to reach them. Planning focus on the future, what is to be accomplished and how. This is a brief and a concise definitions of what planning. Egaa karoora jechuun har'a boruuf qopheessu jechuudha. Manaajeroonni dhaabbata tokko keessaa maal kan godhanidha, itti kan murteessan, determine kan godhanidha, what they want, maal akka barbaadanii fi waan barbaadan san how to get it, akkamitti akka itti argatan kan adda itti baafatanidha jechuudha. Eenyu jechuun karoora jechuun. So it answers 6 questions akkuma dura jenne, what is the goal or goals, when the time frame which it will be accomplished, where the place or the places where the plans or planning will reach its conclusion, which people will perform these tasks, and how the specific steps or the methods to reach the goals, what resources necessary to reach the goals are answered by planning. So these are the 6 basic questions to answer in order to plan our plans for our organizations. So planning is also the process of deciding what to do and how to do it before an action is required. Karoora jechuun adeemsa wanta tokko amma itti murteessinudha, akkamitti akka hojjennu osoo hojichi sun hin eegalin dura jechuudha. As also involves selecting the missions and objectives, the action to achieve them. It requires decision making, that is choosing from an alternative future course of actions kan ta'edha jechuudha. So kanammoo manaajeroonni karoora kana karoorsanii ta'u gara hojiitti kan hin seenne gaafa ta'e salphumatti yeroo gubuu qofa ta'a jechuudha gara hojiitti yookaan hin seennamne ta'e. The other one is what nature of planning. So the nature of planning is first, the contribution of planning to purpose and objective. Plan, it gives a purpose and objectives for our organization or for our individual or for our personal life or for personal goals. It gives what purposes. So without purpose, you can't invest your energy, your talent, and your resources on something. So you have a purpose and an objective for working or something, planning something. That is the purpose of any plan is to facilitate the accomplishment of organizational objectives. This is the purpose of what and the objective of the planning. This is one uh, type of nature of planning. The second one is the primacy of planning. All the five managerial functions, planning, organizing, staffing, directing, controlling, are designed to support the accomplishment of organizational objectives. However, planning precedes the executions of all other managerial functions because all other managerial functions must be planned if they are to be effective. So planning is what it's the base, it's the ground for the rest of the other functions of management. The third one is universality of planning. All managers from president to first level supervisors it plans. Even for personal life we plan. So universality of planning gaafa jennu universalidha akka waa addunyaalessaatti karoora namni kamiyyuu pirezidaantii gubbaatirraa ka'ee hanga jalaatti namni hunduu kan karoorsanidha jechuudha. Akkasumas immoo namni kamiyyuu karoora isaatiif for personal life jireenya guyyaa keenyaaf kan karoorsinudha. Kanaafuu universal jennaan jechuudha. The fourth one is planning and information. Basically, no plan exists without information. The information is valid, is accurate, and reliable. To plan, managers have to gather relevant information from around the environment. The environment, it might be as external environment or internal environment. Where say internal environments from the internal organizations, from employees, from customers, from the any staff, or whether it is an external environment as a market, it's a technology, or it's another legal and cultural environment. That's what we call an external environment. So information is one of the valuable resource for planning to exist. So information is it's necessary, it's valuable or crucial resources for planning to exist. So this is the nature of planning. The fourth nature of planning is planning and informations. The fifth one is planning is a continuous process. Planning deals with the future, and the future is full of what uncertainties. Hence, planning is subject to revisions. It needs frequent revision in response to change in the internal and external environment of the organization. In order to meet or cope up with the internal and external environment, planning is a continuous process or revised many times to meet or to move forward with the environment. So the more continuous the planning is, the higher it is, the efficiency is. So karoorri immoo maalidha? Continuous itti fufiinsa kan qabaatudha jechuudha. Rigid ta'ee yookiin immoo stable ta'ee karoora si'a tokko hin baasnu. Gaafa si'a tokko qofa kan baasnu ta'e tokko haala gabaatiin waliif faallaa ta'uu danda'a, teknooloojiidhaan waliif faallaa ta'uu danda'a. External environmentii fi internal environmentii wajjin deemuudhaaf karoorichi maal ta'uu qabaata? Continuous revision, revised ta'uu qabaata jechuudha. Modify ta'uu qabaata jechuudha wajjin deemuudhaaf. So this is what planning is, a continuous process. The sixth one is what planning is a means to an end. Planning is not an end by itself. It is a means to an end or meeting an objective. So it's one key of motivator to accomplish our goals or objectives. Plans are arranged in a hierarchy. Plans are first set for the entire organizations. The corporate plan then provides the framework for the formulation of divisional, departmental, and sectional goals. When plans are implemented first for the entire organizations. So each of those organizational components set it is plans, programs, projects, budgets, resources, and requirements. Plans arranged sadarkaa hierarchiitti asii gadi yookiin beddaadhaa gadi kan bu'uudha jechuudha. Dura karoora tokko yoo bu'u akka waliigalaatti kan qophaa'u yommuu ta'u, sana booda dipaartimentiiwwan jiran akka isaaniif ta'utti keessatti karoora kana kan baafatanidha jechuudha. So the other point is what the importance of planning. It provides direction and a sense of purpose. It gives direction and a sense of purpose. This is very clear. So it is through planning that we can establish our objectives. Plans focus attention on specific targets and direct employees' effort toward the important outcomes. So once organization know what they can do and can't do over the future, they begin to set objectives based on their capacity and the order of activities needed to accomplish their objectives. Kana keessatti si'a tokko dhaabbatichi wanna hojjetuu fi wanna hin hojjenne erga adda baafateen booda wanna gara fuulduraatti hojjetamu san hojjettoota isaa garasumatti kaapasitii inarjii fi taalantii qaban san gara bakka hojjetamuu sanitti kan muuf godhuudha jechuudha yookaan immoo effortii san achirratti kan balleessanidha. So it provides a direction and a common sense of purpose. This is shared purpose enables both the employees and the managers to coordinate, unite, and guide their actions. This is the importance of planning. The other one is it reduces uncertainties and anticipates the future, preparing for the change. Planning is based on systematic and a careful forecast of future states of the economy, markets, and technology. Just when we plan, we consider an economy, markets, technology, internal environments. So while manager should consider the potential areas for changes in the future rather than merely reacting to it. In planning, managers develop several what-if questions in order to reduce the risk of unpredictable future. So far as we plan for the future, what if the technologies change? What if the environment is changed? What if something bad happen in that organization? What we can do? Just we prepare and aware about what if questions. The third one is it provides the basis for controlling standard or controlling mechanisms. Kun immoo to'achuudhaaf kan nu gargaarudha. Steepii lammaffaa irratti it reduce uncertainty kan jenne kufaatii hin beekamne tokko gadi ni hir'isaa jechuudha. Fuulduratti immoo wanti ta'u hin beekamu sila ta'eef gabaan jijjiiramuu danda'a, dinagdeen jijjiiramuu danda'a yookaan gadi bu'uu yookaan ol bu'uu danda'a, teekinooloojiin jijjiiramuu danda'a. Kuni gaafa jijjiiramee manaajaroonni gaafii of gaafatan maalidha? What if kun osoo akkana ta'e akkam ta'a kan jedhullee karoora keessa galamuu qabaata jechuudha. The fourth one, it forces managers to see the organization as a systems. While planning, managers have to consider parts because the plan of one department it affects the operation of the whole organization or the entire organization so far as parts of an organization are interdependent or interrelated to each other, to each department. So it see as an systems. The fifth one is what it promotes efficiency. Planning provides the opportunity for a greater utilization of the available organizational resources. Because in planning we determine how many resources are necessary to reach the goals and how to use those resources. It promotes efficiency and effectiveness. So how many resources are necessary for accomplishing these goals or these plans and how we use that resources is also gets through what? Planning. The sixth one is what? It provides the base for cooperative and coordinated efforts. They work together, integrated, they support each other. So this is also the importance of planning. Developing managers, the act of planning involves a high level of intellectual activity. Those who plan must be able to deal with abstract and uncertain ideas and information. So the manager is beyond the environment, that's internal and external environment, and deeply in the detail understand what is going on in that environment in order to plan the organization's plan. So plan must think systematically about the present and the future. Through planning, the future state of an organization can be improved if this manager take an active role in moving the organization toward that futures. The act of planning sharpens managers' ability to think as they consider abstract ideas and the possibilities for the futures. And as the last one is it provides the guideline for decision making. These are what the importance of planning. The other topic or issue is what limitations of planning. What are the limitations of planning? The first one, planning is risky. This is because uncertainties in the future and the absence of accurate and adequate data. When we plan one thing or when we plan to accomplish one goals in the future, we have no accurate accurate and valid and adequate data in our hands. So if we have, there is no problem or no risky. But if we can't have an accurate and adequate data in our hands, just there is no certainty not fail in that plans. So planning is risky. It is difficult and a complicated task. Planning is a difficult and complicated task. The next one is planning involves a complex and interdependent decision that requires a patience and a commitment from those who are involved in the planning process. In addition to this, rapid changes in technology, customer tastes, and the preference will also make planning difficult and exceptionally complex. So the customer preference can change day to day, or it may be gradually, and as the technology is also changed, it's rapid or automated. So this makes planning difficult and complicated. It's expensive and time consuming. Time consuming. So planning is what is expensive and time consuming. Planning requires a financial, physical, and human and time resources. So it is expensive and time consuming. This is the limitations of what planning. It's affected by external factors. External factors can put a strain on the success of planning. Those factors could be external imposition, government intervention, natural calamities, import-export policies, taxation, labor laws that can limit the success of the planning. So, it's affected by external factors. This is the limitations of what planning. Okay, the other issue is what planning process, establishing the objective, developing premises, determining the alternative course of action, evaluating alternative course of action, selecting a course of action, formulating derivative plan, numerizing plans by budgeting, implementing the plan, and controlling and evaluating the results are the steps we can build or create a valid planning processes. So this is what the steps we can build our plans. Kunniin salgan jenne kunniin maalidha akkaataa karoora tokko itti qopheessinuudha jechuudha. Yeroo baay'ee qormaata irratti baachuu danda'u garuu kanneen salgan kana hammatanidha jechuudha. The other one is characteristics of a good plan. Every sound business plan must have those characteristics. Duudhaan yookiin pirinsipiliin karoorri gaariin tokko qabatu maalidha kan jedhudha. Kana jalatti jechuudha. So tokko objectivity kaayyoo qabaachuu qaba jechuudha karoorri sun. Logical kan ta'e, reasonable kan ta'e, realistic kan ta'e, objectivity yookiin immoo kaayyoo san qabaachuu qaba. Planning should first all based on the objective thinking. It should be factual, logical, and realistic. It should be directed to achieving organizational goals rather than as personal objectives. Ta'uu qabaata jechuudha. Akka dhaabbataatti kaayyoo san galmaan ga'uu kan qabaatudha malee akka personal objectivii galmaan kan ga'u miti jechuudha karoorri akka dhaabbataatti ga'u. The second one is futurity. Since a plan is a forecast of some future action, it must have the quality of futurity, otherwise it has a little value as the basis for future actions. Flexible gaafa jennu modify ta'uu qaba jechuudha yookiin immoo yeroo environmentii wajjin kan deemu ta'uu qabaata. Because no one can foresee the future, plan must have flexibility. They must adjust smoothly and quickly changing the condition without seriously losing their effectiveness. The more difficult it is to predict the future, the more flexible the plan must be. So we use the good planning character is what? Flexibility. The other one is what? Stability. Stability is related to what? Flexibility. A stable plan will not have to be abandoned because of long-term changes in the company situation. It may be affected by long-range developments, but it should not be changed materially from day to day. So it may be modified, but it will not change it from day to day. This is what? Stability. The other one is comprehensive. A plan must be comprehensive enough to provide adequate guidance, but it not so detailed as to be unduly restrictive So the plan is what just it give us a guidance, not detail in the deeply about those issues. And I can tell that the other one is simplicity and the clarity. Salpafi, if I can tell that, although a good plan must be a comprehensive, it should be also be a simple plan as search or seeks to attainable it is objective with the fewest components, forces, effects, and relationships. This all is about what the characteristics of a good plan. So this is the end of chapter 3. Thank you for your attention. If you love this video, please subscribe and write a comment. Thank you for your attention. Waan dhaggeeffataniif guddaa galatoomaa. Kanneen afaanis saniif hin dabala. Video koo kana laayikii fi sabskiraayib fi koomentii naaf gochuu hin dagatinaa isiniin jedha. Waan dhaggeeffataniif guddaa galatoomaa. Oolmaa gaarii. Thank you.